Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Sully Squad. We got an action-packed Monday night. We got Game 2, Sixers Knicks. We got NFL Draft coming up in 3 nights. You know, Howie Roseman rumors are that he's working the phones, possibly looking for a trade up. Plus, we had a little bit of football news today. Joe Douglas somehow traded Zach Wilson. Some Denver actually took a chance on Zach Wilson. So just goes to show you there's a lid for every pot, you know?
They gave him some medical marijuana included with the deal.
Yeah.
Little Colorado sticky.
I know, right? Yeah, that's one thing. The MILFs in Denver have to watch out because Zach Wilson's only claim to fame. It hasn't been playing football. It's been known as the MILF owner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. And we got a red hot baseball team. So we got tons to get into. I know we'll do tons of Sixers talk in a little bit because big game tonight. But I got my usual cast. I got my man Sean Kilrain right next to me. What's up, Sean? How you doing?
What's up, fellas? Good, man. Just enjoying this weather. How about you guys?
Loving it, dude. Loving it. I love it. I love a nice day like today. You know, it's nice and sunny. It's not too hot, not too cold. You know, nice and comfortable. Just got to get that dub tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got to the side of Sean right here. I got my man, Mr. 6 for 6, Diego the Hammer Bianchi. What's up, dog?
Chilling, bro. What's going on?
Not much. We gonna get this W tonight or what?
Starting to feel a little more confident as the day's going on.
That's good. Well, speaking of feel, the big thing is hopefully Tyrese Maxey. Hopefully he doesn't have a case of the NBA poops and he can get out there and start playing. You know what I mean?
He's out there. He's out there stretching right now.
Is he? Okay, cool. All right.
He's out there stretching, and B was trolling with his sunglasses on, sitting on the bench trolling. That's what I want. That's what we want to see. We want to see that Maxey's out there and that Embiid's in good spirits. Them sunglasses, I really just think it's a nice troll job for everybody.
No, you know what actually happened, Diego? I was listening to 94. He got poked in the eye.
Nah, on 7.5 they said. On 7.5 said there's no video of him getting poked in the eye. He got hit in the side of his face.
Well, we got a sports war, WIP and 95 are beefing.
That's what I was listening to. Who knows though? Because fucking Tyrone also said Fenatop was going to start or whatever that was. I was like, I think I heard, I did hear, and he was wrong. So,
Blake and Tyrone are fighting. Nothing but a bunch of liars.
Yeah, I hear you. I got a comment here. John Michael says, "LOL, the Sixers better match New York's intensity, or we are sunk." Yeah, I mean, let's just, we're going to preview Game 2, but let's just take a look back at what happened in Game 1. I mean, first off, the bench was outscored. What was the bench score? And I think our bench was outscored like 35 points, something like that.
I thought it was 42-7.
Yeah, there you go.
Mitchell, what's the dude's name? Mitchell Robinson, their center.
McBride.
No, their center.
Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson had 8 points. Our bench had 7.
Yeah. So it was
McBride had 21. Bogo had 13. And the other guy that we just said.
Deuce McBride.
No, not McBride. The other dude we just said. Oh, Mitchell Robinson. Had 8. 42.
And then, yeah, I mean.
And not just that, but then, same story every single year in the playoffs. When Embiid goes to the bench, they're like, I think it was like minus 17 or something like that. It kind of, I'll tell you, the game kind of had, I was kind of hearkening back to the 2019 Toronto series. Like, remember the 2019 Toronto series? Every time Embiid would go to the bench, the opposition would make a run. Same thing was happening the other night. And then the other thing, if the Sixers don't start rebounding the damn basketball, they're fucked because, New York had 23 offensive rebounds. Like I think you almost have to see maybe some Paul Reed playing with Embiid tonight. You got to do something to get some goals.
Anyone who plays the Knicks, though, they're not going to win the rebound battle. They're the number one rebounding team in the NBA.
Yeah, I understand.
And Sixers are the second best rebounding team left in the playoffs by the numbers. So, I mean, I know you're going to have to rebound better, but there's no way you came into the series saying we're going to out rebound the Knicks to win. We need our bench guys. We need Batum to take more than 4 shots. We need Tobias to be a lot better. Hield, I don't know what Hield was doing out there. They're the guys that got to play better to win. When you look at Embiid and Maxey, what did Maxey have? 33 and Embiid 25. That's 58 points. That's what? How much?
I think he had like 29.
All right, so that's 63 points combined. We need them other guys to step up.
Yeah, we need more from our bench. You're absolutely right.
And let's be real: is Josh Hart going to go 4 from 8 for 3 again? Is McBride going to have 21 points again? Them 3 threes at the end of the half that killed us after Embiid went out. I think there's a lot more. Is New York going to be able to sustain that over a series? Whether our guys are. Maxey and Embiid gave us exactly what we thought we needed out of them.
Yeah, but to
Tobias has to play much better.
To your point about the rebounding, though, I get what you're saying. New York is great at rebounding, but you can't. I hear you, but by the same token, you can't give up 23 offensive boards. You know what I mean? You got to cut that down a little bit. You know what I mean?
I hear you, and we still only lost by 7 to this team. Imagine everything the Knicks got. Imagine everything the Knicks are going to have to keep on doing all series. Out rebound us by 23 on offense. That's going to be tough, regardless of who you are.
Yeah, but then again, though, Jalen Brunson's not always going to go 8 out of 26, and DiVincenzo had it. So you can kind of look at it 2 ways. You know what I mean? But both ways.
Yeah, Brunson will get his. Brunson will get his other 8 points. But McBride's not going to give you 21. Hart's not going to rip like that.
You just got to get in their face with the defense, like that one defensive play like Harris. Harris didn't even guard Hart. Man, get up in his face, make him work for that shot.
Tobias Harris is trash, dude.
Yeah, there's something. Yeah, it's almost like he doesn't want to be here. Crumble Cookie is sure looking like a damn cookie, man. He's just pathetic.
Yeah, what do you think of this comment here? Steve Greenjack says Embiid couldn't even move in the fourth quarter last game. Missed about 5 shots in a row. Has no lift from his legs. Was shooting with all arms. He's going to be about 60% 70% the whole playoffs, and that's not sustainable. I'm not feeling good. John Michael, B-Ball Paul got them fired up. You can't tell me New York didn't see what he said and grabbed their balls and got fired up. And then to your point, Diego, Steve Greenjack says, on the other hand, Hart and McBride are not putting up the points they did. That was a flash in the pan. I totally agree. And Sean,
the Knicks got fired up, right? The Knicks got fired up by Paul Reed's comments. The Knicks got 3 minutes without Embiid where they went on a run at the end of the second half. The Knicks out-rebounded us by 23 offensive rebounds. The Knicks won the game by 7, who gave up the lead in the third when Embiid came back. The Knicks are going to have to continue to do a lot more than the Sixers to win this series. I'm not saying they can't do it, but we're the better team, obviously, and you got to do all these things right to beat us by 7 points.
Right. On
the road. Exactly. In game 1, the most hectic arena in the NBA, blah, blah, blah. You did all that right. You beat us by 7. And we thought Embiid thought he broke his leg halfway through the game. Took all the air out of us. You go up 14 or whatever it is. You go into the half up 12. That's not going to happen every game. I mean, we got to hope with Embiid it's possible, but I don't know. The Knicks got to do so much right and so much perfect to beat the Sixers team. The Sixers don't have to be perfect to beat the Knicks.
Yeah. Steve Greenjack says Nurse switched to a zone in the second half, and we started giving them hell in the third. Yeah, third quarter was big for the Sixers. I mean,
even the first quarter, third quarter, we smashed them.
Yeah. I'll tell you who played good the other night was Kyle Lowry. I'll tell you, Kyle Lowry. For being 38, I mean, when they signed him, I was thinking maybe he'd give you 8 to 10 minutes a night. And
what, he played 33 or 38?
What's that?
What, he played 33 or 38?
I don't have it in front of me offhand, but either way. He's playing a lot more minutes than I thought he was going to play in.
Well,
And
that's what you want in a veteran, man. You know, with championship experience with Nick Nurse and the Raptors. I mean, he wants to bring it, and just like he said in his press conference, you know, other guys got to bring it and show up and show out. You know, and that goes for like Tobias Harris. I'm hoping to see Oubre break out tonight. You know, but not just him, just that bench, like Diego said. You know, everybody got to contribute. You know, if you go big or go home, and play that zone defense like we did last time, I think be a pest.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one guy, like you said, that really has to step up is Buddy Hield. I mean, Buddy Hield, you know, he's got to give you a lot more, Buddy Hield.
You're not on the Kings anymore. Yeah. You know. Yeah.
So, but
yeah,
thing that bothers me about him though is that he kind of looks like he's a little afraid to shoot.
he is, and it looks like defenders close out on him quick.
Yeah.
He don't get the ball off quick.
Yeah, I don't like hot potato. You're right.
So
it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, Batum only took 4 shots. He's got to put up more. You know, Hield, obviously, he's stuck. He needs to put up a lot more. Tobias Harris has to be more effective. And I think Kelly Oubre, he'll get hits. Kelly Oubre is like really, he's guarding Brunson. That takes a lot.
Yeah. So we'll, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, basically it was the rebounding, the bench. I got to be honest. I'm feeling pretty good about tonight's game.
Me too. For all the reasons I just said, like I really started thinking about it, and I'm like, the Knicks are just going to have to do so much. They're going to have to play pretty much perfect basketball to beat the Sixers.
Yeah, you know what the Knicks kind of remind me of? The Knicks are the Knicks are a better version of like how the Sixers were when they had like Andre Iguodala. Like the Knicks are better. The Knicks are better than that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I'm not saying that Iguodala, Drew Holiday, Sixers team was like on par with this Knicks team. I think this Knicks team's way better than that team. Well, but maybe not necessarily talent-wise. You know what I mean? If you think about it, like Jalen Brunson's a hell of a player, but then without Randall, I mean, they're not. I guess what I'm saying is they have to win kind of like the similar way. Like everything's got to go right. Like that Sixers team, like Iguodala had to play well. Holiday had to play well. You know? You had to get like a guy like Spencer Halls had to give you like 15 points or something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Lou Will. You know what I'm saying? Like that's you
had to get everything you possibly could out of every single player to win, and they have to give it to you every single night. It's kind of like Miami Heat are built like that. Like every player always gives you everything they have to give you in every important game.
True.
Steve Greenjack said, Diego, how's it going, bro? You definitely make a good point about the Knicks needing their dominoes to fall perfectly to beat us.
Good, Greenjack. How you doing, brother?
And then
I mean, because the Knicks, we got 2 of the best 3 players on the court. You know, we already know with Embiid, we don't got to play perfect basketball. We're going to get open shots. You know what I'm saying? We need Embiid to actually if his passing is on point, I think we should be unbeatable.
Like that
because there's guys open.
Beautiful.
It's the fact of getting him the ball.
Yeah.
Did you see that one pass that looked like a Magic Johnson, John?
Yeah. Right down the court, smooth as butter, man.
That was nice. Yeah, exactly.
What do you think of Maurice Wright's got a comment here. He says, nobody jumped in the fourth quarter Saturday as far as rebounds. The Knicks out-jumped the 76ers. They had not only second chance opportunities, but third chances that killed the Sixers. Totally agree. Yep. I mean, in my mind, that was the difference. That and the bench was the difference in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you're not going to beat good teams on their floor giving up that many second and third opportunities. You're just not going to do it. And the other thing is too, it ruins your offense because, you think about it, like you're out there, you play good defense for 20 seconds, boom, they get the rebound. Then they miss again, they get the rebound again. And you're out there scrambling on defense. You're like, what the fuck, man? You know what I mean? Because it takes a lot more energy to play defense than it does offense. So you're out there, and then in the fourth quarter, it's no wonder Embiid's got no legs. You know what I mean?
And I want to see.
We don't have a ton of height either, though. You pull Embiid out, you play the pick and roll, right? When that shot comes up off the pick and roll, Embiid's out by the 3-point line. Who's rebounding? Who's got big height, size, athleticism? Like Tobias ain't that power forward where he can slip to the 5 and rebound over another big or box out like he should. We might have to try to find, like Joe just said, we got to try to find a way to play Paul Reed with Embiid. That way, if you do pull Embiid out, Paul Reed can just crash down on the board when that shot goes up. But if you only got guys that are 6'5" going for it, the Knicks got a couple guys down there taller, or you got Mitchell Robinson rolling to the basket, and now he's the first person at the rim.
I like that. I mean, it makes sense because he's athletic, he's tall, and you almost kind of have like speed and intensity, like, you know what I mean? And, aggressiveness, because that's kind of what Paul Reed does, So,
how about KJ Martin?
I'd like
KJ Martin. Yeah. Maybe I'd like to see a little bit of rookie counsel.
Yeah.
Give me some guys who are gonna see. KJ Martin comes in and he don't fill up the stat sheet, but he always plays hard around the rim when the ball's coming off. He's always there. He's always boxing out. He's always banging bodies. I feel like the only time I ever see him score is when he gets an offensive rebound and puts the layup back in.
You want that pest in there. You know what I'm saying? To be a tick on your ass. To keep bothering you and keep making you work, basically. Just like you said with Martin, either with Ricky Council. Yeah, see what is going to give. You got to do something.
Yeah, because here's the point right here. I mean, Steve Greenjack, to the second chance thing, I refer back to Embiid not being able to move. It was so blatant that he couldn't jump properly or have lateral movement to slide to rebound, help defense. He was just watching. Yeah,
Did you see one defensive play where he let that guy score instead of like kind of rebounding? I kind of think he was saying, I'm not jumping. Something's up in my knee or something. He just let the guy do a layup.
What I don't understand, though, I mean,
his knee only looks like it hurts really, really bad when he wants it to. Because when he came back from surgery for them 6 games, he was ripping, Euro stepping, jumping, blocking everybody, dropping 50 points. Sixers would go on a 6-game win streak. Now the playoffs start. All of a sudden, you got no lateral movement. Why?
Well, that's what I don't understand. He may have tweaked it in the Orlando game, but the thing I don't understand, I'm wondering if it's a mental thing. Because the woman on ESPN said the other night that, Embiid kind of admitted as much that it's kind of a mental thing because, I mean, what the fuck was the purpose of the surgery? I thought the surgery made the shit better.
I think it's definitely in his head. And I think the end of the half proved it. He goes up, he comes down, lands with a lot of force on his knee. Right away, he thinks something's wrong with it. Right? Goes back to the locker room, comes back out. Yeah, he looked scared, Joe. I don't think he was coming down and jumping and trying to block people because he was scared. And he goes, it's game 1. Let's not tear my knee right now. I just had a scare. Now I'm playing a little bit scared. And we'll see if we can just make enough plays to win. But I don't think there's not much damage to the knee. He had surgery to fix the shit.
True. I think like we all can agree, it's a mental block. It's just like a player getting hit by a pitch. It's in your head. I don't give a shit what you say.
100%. And let's be real. If he would have hurt his knee at halftime and went back and they started seeing swelling come to the knee, he wouldn't have came back out and played.
No.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, I was going to say, what do you think of this? Maurice Wright says throwing Bamba in with Joel will help for a few minutes. Council will be better than Tobias. It's all about production. I believe Lowry has a better game tonight. I don't know if Bamba and Embiid would really be I think you'd be too slow. That's the only problem.
Yeah,
I think you got
is
two
really
big
slow.
bodies. Yeah,
I like the Paul Reed. I like a Paul
Yeah.
Reed and Embiid tandem better than a Bamba and Embiid tandem.
John Michael, what do you think of this? Damn, I sure wish we had Morris and Pat Bev right about now. Second chances, hustle stat, and those dudes busted their asses and had heart. Meanwhile, Hield can't be bothered to make a shot. That's kind of true. And then got one more. Steve Greenjack says Joey actually should have been out a little longer. They kind of rushed him back. I mean, yeah, but did they though? I mean, I thought they said it was
it said 8-9 week recovery. He was out for 8 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I understand Steve's point. I mean, could he have maybe sat another week or two? Yeah, I mean, that's possible. But I mean, at some point, I mean, don't you got to get the hell out? I mean, you know what I mean? It's not like he tore his ACL. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You're that type of player. You want him out there, So
I don't know. It's just got one more.
I think a lot of it's mental. I do. And that's understandable. Dude, you're 7'3", you hurt your knee. They're your career. If Embiid tears an ACL, he might never come back.
That's your bread and butter. Yeah, that's
So I get it, but like eventually you got to kind of just throw caution to the wind and just play as hard as you can, hurt or not. But like you're right. So there's a couple plays there in the second half where he didn't contest it at all. He just watched the guy go up. I understand your knee hurts a little bit, but fuck it, dude. You blow your knee out. We got to wait till next year anyway if we lose.
Yeah, I'd rather you try than say, "Oh, here you go, go right ahead." Nah, come on, man. And you know damn well that's not you. That's not your style of play. You want to be known as that aggressor. Like you said before, he's a generational talent, dude. Or do you want to be called that generational Mr. Glass kind of type of player?
Yeah. Man, guys, I don't know. I don't love Mo Bamba.
I think Mo Bamba kind of stinks.
Every time I watch him play, he just looks lost. He never look. I don't know. He doesn't. I'd rather have Paul Reed out there. Paul Reed's our best rebounder on the whole team.
He's like a sloth.
Yeah, Mo Bamba, I don't know. I don't love anything about him. I don't love Paul Reed either, but I think Paul Reed's our best rebounder. And if you're going to try to play anybody with Embiid, it's Paul Reed.
What happened to Covington? Excuse me.
He's still hurt.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Melton. And like this team really kind of fell apart. If Covington and Melton are coming into this series ain't close.
No.
Yeah, because if you think about it, I mean, Covington, you could even play actually this would kind of go against my rebounding theory, but you could play Covington a few minutes of a small ball 5 because he played that in Houston. You know what I mean? Right. But I don't know. Strike that though, because I don't know if you'd want to do that against the Knicks, because then you'd really get destroyed on the boards. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to go Rocco at 5, I think that'd be a terrible decision against the Knicks. So forget that idea. But you know what I mean? You would at least have the option, though.
Right. Melton's such a big loss.
Yeah. What do you think of this? John Michael says Joel knows this team isn't going to win it all, and to him, it's not worth a major injury. See, I think if that's the case, though, I don't think he would have came back at all.
I agree. I think he would have just mouthed it in.
Maurice Wright, whatever happened to Kai Jones? He actually signed with the Clippers.
Huh?
I think the Clippers brought him in. Steve Greenjack says if his knee is bothering him, he needs to shorten his game, stop standing at the 3, stop dribbling the line, live in the post. You have such a great touch for a big man. You're bigger than everyone, and the post doesn't require much movement. Plus, he get 12-plus free throws easy, so that's many more easy points.
Couldn't agree more.
One thing with Embiid, though, he hasn't shot over 50% in 8 consecutive playoff games.
I just was going to say that. Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with, dude. It gets harder to get buckets once you get to the playoffs. They don't give you all them. They don't give you all them fouls. It's not just go down there. A lot of these misses, he was getting fouls called in the regular season and going to the line. To where now they're letting it go and the shot's just a miss.
True. Like you said.
And I feel like that's why we're seeing his percentage drop a lot.
Mm-hmm.
come play all the time. You don't get them easy calls. You're not going to the line 15, 20 times. That's not playoff basketball.
Yeah, the other thing is too, like many teams in the NBA don't have this, but the Knicks have big guys that could rotate on them. Like they have Hartenstein and they have Mitchell Robinson. So you're Embiid and you're out there and you're sucking wind because you're not quite in the best of shape coming off an injury, and you got big bodies, big athletic bodies, banging up against you.
Yeah,
that makes it kind of hard too. I get a comment. Here's our boy Mike Fuji. What's good, fellas? Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing, bro?
What's up, man?
Check out. I was gonna say, check out Fuji's Phil. Mike's got a show. He's gonna have former NFL player Randy Cross on later tonight. I think 8:00. Mike will have to tell me what channel. I don't remember the channel, but it's pretty interesting. Maurice Wright says buckets are harder to get in the playoffs, but attacking the basket will get you to the line and foul out key players from the opposition.
True. Yeah.
They don't give you them calls.
Steve Greenjack says he goes up too soft, Diego. Shaq himself has admitted Embiid would be more dominant than him if he played tough like he did.
Then why is Embiid lead the league in free throws per game?
I don't know. I think the bottom line is like I was saying, like we were talking at work, Diego, to Steve Greenjack's point, I feel like if Embiid could just play like the Patrick Ewing game while he's hurt, remember like Pat Ewing used to just hit like little like medium range jump shots. Yeah. But again, you know what the problem is though? It's so hard to tell a competitor like Embiid not to try to do the dunks and shit that he did.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, we're not professional basketball players, but you know what you feel comfortable doing once you get a basketball in your hand, right? Mm-hmm. And you kind of resort to doing that. If you ask someone, look, don't do what makes you comfortable. Play more like Patrick Ewing. Kind of take away from the guy's game and what makes him so great. Like, let's be real. Yesterday, the other game where he gets hurt, he does a 360, stays on his pivot, throws it off the backboard, and dunks on two people's heads. That's an instinctful play. You don't think that. It's just you just do it. And that's like telling Iverson, hey, don't go into the paint. He would have been like, yeah, okay. You're crazy. You're crazy. I'm beating that first, I'm beating that first all the dribble, and the first guy I see, I'm running right into him.
I don't want you to crossover dribble, just straight dribble.
You can't do that to a player.
I get it. I know it's impossible to do that, but by the same token, it's so frustrating because without him, we got no shot. And meanwhile, I firmly believe that if he did kind of play that way, shoot the little jumpers, get guys in some fouls, he would still average 25 to 30 points a night. At least we'd have a shot. You know what I mean? I get it though. It's hard to tell a guy not to go all out.
Right.
It is frustrating. You're right.
It is frustrating because Joe, you're right. He can get 25 so easily, and that just by getting to his spots. You know what I mean? But
just being in that paint alone, like little baby.
Just think it's hard.
Jump shot. I mean, he makes it look. He can do it with his eyes closed. That's how talented, like we said, he is. But
or he could do it with sunglasses.
Yeah. Yes, you can. But like you said, all in all, I think it's like a mental block, Definitely. Like he's going up, well, man, not this knee injury or something pop,
That's what I mean. To the end of the half, he has the brace on, he comes down. I'm like, nothing happened. What is he going like this for? I'm like, nothing happened. My friends texting me, oh, we're done. I'm like, nothing happened, dude. What do you mean? Look at the knee. The brace literally did what left the knee stay straight, didn't turn in. His body didn't do nothing. It was in his brain. He thought, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Something happened. When nothing happened.
A sudden movement, a sudden twitch. Yeah, it's definitely something. It's like I said, somebody in a batter's box with the jitters, like backing up. You have that in your head.
Yep.
That's why, it's what is it? Sports psychology.
Yeah.
You just gotta. It's a
To the
big.
term.
Yeah, it's a big mental block for him. Definitely.
What do you think of this? Paul Spencer says playoff basketball, hardly anyone gets those calls. That Pelicans versus Thunder game Sunday, about 10 no calls, mugging. But I get it, playoff basketball. It's kind of true.
The NBA don't want the NBA doesn't want 115 to 111 with a team going to the foul line 42 times in a game. That's a boring basketball game to watch. When someone's just going to the line over and over and over and over, that's a boring ass basketball game to watch. They want you to watch a nice, 103 to 100 game where it's really intense and every possession matters. The NBA's calling games like this to have this result.
Almost like what's the name's game yesterday? Mavericks Clippers.
Well, yeah, what was the score of that game? The Heat scored 94 points against the Celtics. The Celtics only scored 114.
Right.
You would think Celtics score 120 plus against the Heat every night, not in the playoffs.
That's true.
True.
Maurice Wright says, in a perfect world, Joel Embiid plays like Pat Ewing. And then Steve Greenjack says, yeah, but Diego, if he's hurting, then he needs to make adjustments. I agree you don't take a player out of his game, but if you can't play that way to your full capability, then you have to adjust. And I think if he lives inside and mixes in the outside, then he'd be better off than being outside so much like he is.
I agree, but you got all right. But then what do you do about the pick and roll of Maxey that made Maxey drop 33 points last game? If you just park and beat in the paint, Maxey don't have them 33 points.
No, because
you gotta find a balance. If you just park the guys, Maxey got 33 points. You know how many of them, Jones, were him coming around the pick and just turning the corner and beelining right to the basket? And because he was the fastest guy, Mitchell Robinson couldn't get off his feet to block him.
Yeah,
if you don't pull Embiid out, if you just put him in the post and try to run that pick and roll with Tobias coming up and Embiid standing there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean that is true because if Maxey can't get to the lane if the lane's clogged.
Exactly, and if Embiid's got to play in the lane, then there's no lane. We know Embiid can score at the 3-point line. He can score at the foul line. He can face people up, back people down. So in that case, it's let Maxey get his 33, and Embiid can play around that. Because we need Maxey's 33, and Embiid can get his 25 in easier places than just layups, or in harder places than just layups.
Yeah, Steve Greenjack says 33 is above for Maxey anyway. He averages 26. Max will still get his 20 plus.
Tough. Everything in the NBA is done for a reason. It's not just done because of one player. They pull Embiid out for a reason, to make space for other players to get to the rim, guys to cut. You know what I mean? Embiid catches the ball at the foul line. You got a guy cutting from this side. He's seeing the whole court, got the ball up here. It's all what makes Embiid great, where you can play him wherever you want. And it makes everyone else around him better when you can play him wherever you want.
Yeah, but Joe can't run the pick and roll like he normally does. He couldn't move.
Yeah, but you still pull Mitchell Robinson out from under the net. Sometimes the pick and roll's not for Joel Embiid right now. The pick and roll's for Maxey. So you got if you're not pulling Mitchell Robinson out, then you're gonna have a defender at the rim. We got so many easy baskets last week by pulling Embiid out, him setting the pick, and Max coming around it, just being faster than everybody else, and no one in front of him.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Watching Maxey, sometimes I'm having flashbacks to AI. I mean, Maxey is like so fast, dude. Like he gets
that first step,
downhill so quick.
If he gets in front of you, how many times he's not just fast, he gets off the ground fast. Like there's a couple of times Mitchell Robinson's on his hip, but because Maxey just gets off his feet so quick, Mitchell Robinson couldn't block him. Couldn't contest the play at the rim.
Yeah, what do you think of this? Paul Spencer says, Embiid reminds me of Hakeem, down low, unstoppable. Plus, Embiid has that agility and unlimited range, where Hakeem had the low post mid range. Yeah, when Embiid's healthy, you know what I mean. In actuality, and Embiid actually has more range. Embiid has much more range than Hakeem. I mean, Hakeem was a good shooter, but he couldn't shoot like Embiid. I mean, Embiid's a great shooter. You know.
Well, I mean, you have to respect Embiid when he's standing at the 3-point line. You can't just give him a three.
Not only that, but even in the paint, just like Paul said, like with Hakeem, like how Hakeem was in the paint, smooth finesse, that baby hook, or even a simple layup or a turnaround jumper. I mean, yeah.
Got one. Get here. Got two here. Maurice Wright says Sixers can't lose to guards. I mean, they can if they get out rebounded by 20. If they can if they don't rebound,
Right. Yeah.
Steve Greenjack says, I'm not saying don't let him move out of the paint. I'm saying he has to adjust the percentage of being in the paint as opposed to the outside. He's outside too much with that knee. He has to flip the script a little bit.
I agree. Now, that's Nick Nurse's job. You know what I'm saying? That's Nick Nurse's job. All right, well, the pick and roll isn't going to help us that much because Embiid's going to be outside the post too much. All right, well, now adjust your offense to where Embiid's going to be in the post and we're trying to find open threes or shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I'm just saying last game, that's where we got 33 points from. And then you might try something else and it's not working. He goes right back to the pick and roll and bringing Embiid back out.
Right. Anyway,
but I agree. He's got to try something. He's got to try something to keep Embiid 2 feet on the ground.
Yeah, I agree with this.
Yeah.
He never stood up top. He played a position. He dominated. Embiid is playing way too new school. I mean, it's true, like we said earlier. But that's the way this NBA is.
Exactly. That's the way the game's played. I mean, everyone wants to watch Hakeem Olajuwon or like that dude Moses Malone that Joe has a jersey on of and dominating the paint, but that's not this game.
No, it's not. It's a shame. I love defense, but call me old school.
All right, so hang on. Let's get one more comment, and then let's make predictions, and then I want to get into some draft talk here.
All right.
Paul Spencer says, "What do you think about Reed and Embiid at the 4-5 to pull Hardenstein out and Reed bang low for dirty buckets and rebounds?" I like the idea.
I like to try it.
Do it,
dude. You try for 6 minutes. You see it's a disaster. You don't try it again.
Exactly.
It's not going to hurt.
Steve Greenjack, I think Embiid played like 70-30 in favor of outside game, and I think he needs to flip it to like 60-40, 50-50. I agree with that. I
would be fine with that.
I agree with that.
I'd be fine with that. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's get some predictions for tonight. Sean, I'll start with you.
I think I need Kelly Oubre. I think he's going to have a big game, as well as Lowry. I think it's going to be a close one. Sixers.
Sixers. Okay. All right, Diego, how about you?
This morning I don't know. I was feeling the Knicks, but the more I think about it, and the more I think how perfect the Knicks are going to have to be to beat us, I'm going to say the Sixers win by 6. It's funny. That score I have it flipped the other way. 103-97 Sixers.
Yeah, Paul Spencer hates saying it. Knicks not 103, the Sixers 97. I'm going Sixers too. I'm not even saying it in a homer way because obviously I'm sitting here wearing a Moses Malone jersey, so people could be like, "Oh, well, you're a fucking homer," and I get it, but my reasoning though has nothing to do with like quote unquote being a homer. Kind of goes to what you said, Diego, and the fact that we lost a basketball game 1 in a very emotional garden. That arena was going nuts. We were right in that game. They lost by what, 7? And
7.
The bottom line is they gave up 23 offensive rebounds, and Embiid had an injury scare. The Knicks bench outscored them by like 35. And honestly, I feel like some of them little role players of the Knicks aren't going to be, Josh Hart's not going to shoot the way he did tonight. You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be close, but the Sixers eke out. They eke out a close win. And wow, John Michael
down
goes
13.
Yeah, Knicks 110, Sixers 97.
That's definitely not a homer take right there.
I know. Yeah, well,
That's a Knicks fan.
yeah, but John Michael liked the Mavericks yesterday too. So let's
that's good to hear.
So let's hope that he's pulling a lead. All right.
No
I
lead.
gotta hope he's pulling a lead. Although I like the Mavericks too. I can't talk shit.
I do too. I was hoping. I was watching.
I like the Mavs too. So I was.
Tell you what, Dame Lillard went off against the Pacers in that first game.
Yeah.
Bro, you know what's fucked up? I was literally wrong on like every game, bro. Like,
Me too.
I love Dallas, right? I loved Indiana. I was like, I'm looking at the scores. I'm like, damn. I'm like, boy, I can't even pick it.
Yeah, they're getting fucking both teams got blown out.
Yep, I'm done.
Here, I got one more here. John Michael says, I don't think we can match their intensity at their Garden, but I'm also hoping I jinx the Knicks. Okay, that's good.
Okay, yeah.
Paul Spencer said, crazy. Dame had 35 at half, ended up with 35 for the game. Yeah, but they already established the lead at that point.
Yeah, exactly. He gave them every single point they needed in the first half, and that's it. He put them too far ahead.
Maurice Wright says, what do you guys think about the Eagles drafting a wide receiver in the first round? All right, well, good. You know what? Good.
Let's get into the Eagles.
I want to segue into that here. So, all right. So I got right on the bottom here, moving on up, because Howie's thinking about moving up. I think so. To Maurice's question about possibly drafting a wide receiver, I don't think if they move up, I think people are speculating it's going to be for a corner, or maybe for an O lineman or an edge rusher. I think the only way you take a receiver is if you sit there, you can't move up, you're sitting there at 22, and the receiver is just the best athlete on the board. Somebody slides down that you just go, you know what? I got to take this guy. That's the only way I see him doing it.
I agree.
Yeah. True.
You know?
I see them drafting, like you said, Joey, O lineman, cornerback, edge rusher, or even, I hate to say it, defensive tackle, because that's the way we roll, and what are the areas of needs? Linebacker, but hopefully and willingly, we get that in the second round with the 50th or 53rd pick. I mean,
well, that's if we even have two second round picks, because if you're a prime trade up spot for the Birds could be like Seattle. Like Seattle's sitting there at 16. The Seahawks don't have a second round pick, so I could see a scenario where maybe Philadelphia calls Seattle. You offer 22 and either 50 or 53, move up to 16, and maybe Seattle flips you like a fourth or something. You know what I'm saying? And which I don't love, because I really want to use those. I really want to use those 2 second round picks because I feel like we need players.
Yeah, I was reading something that moving up 4 picks in the first round would only cost us a 4th round pick. And moving back to whoever we trade with.
Yeah, but I'm talking about moving up 6 spots. If you move up to like 16,
didn't you see the stuff that I sent you with the text, like with the trade up? Yeah, like you do trade with Seattle and Jackson, like scenarios, Jacksonville Colts, and we get that corner. And just like to Steve's point, I think the only way you're getting Tyron Arnold is if you move up to like where the Jags are and the Colts.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just gonna say it. I don't want to take the gene. I don't trust a white cornerback.
What? You better watch yourself, man. Jason Sehorn.
Hey, man,
that's my point, John. That's my point. How far are we going back? How far are we going back? We're going back to when like you were 22 years old.
I know.
Come on. We're going to take that risk here. We're going to take that risk. There hasn't been one in 30 years, and we're going to take that risk. We need this guy to pan out. We need this guy to pan out.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I know.
Eddie Prater, getting back. It's funny. Me and Diego were cracking up at work about that too, because we're like,
I bet you were.
we're like,
I'm like,
wait,
Joe, I know this kid's crazy talented, dude. I'm like, I know he is because I watch him play, but there hasn't been a go white corner in how long?
Who said it? I was watching a reel, and they're like, "Yo, a white boy for a cornerback. Could the Eagles actually go and draft one?" Hey, you never know.
Hey,
Look at that white boy.
No, I'm just about the ball. If he can play, he can play. It just scares you a little bit when you haven't seen a white corner since Jason Sehorn.
yeah, it's almost like the Eagles would be like, "Yo, we just drafted the next Tom Brookshire." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's what they said. They were like Jason Sehorn 2.0.
yeah.
Damn.
Getting back.
No, serious question though. On Dejean, the broken leg doesn't worry it.
It
They said he
always
had a-
worries me.
Like if you really want to break it down, it's like the leg, and even with Kool-Aid McKinstry, he had a good pro day. His foot. That's what a lot of people maybe back off. Like a lot of teams back off, and he's at 22. I'd like to see him. I wouldn't mind. But yeah, Dejean he's special, and he also returns punts. But
Yeah.
that's.
Is he the best corner? Is he the best corner in the draft? You think?
They got him as safety, but
Safety?
he can play corner. He played it all. Is he good? Yeah. He's a solid corner. Now, where do I rank him? You got Teron Arnold, probably one. Quinyon Mitchell, in my opinion. Kool-Aid. And Nate.
So you got him like the fourth rated corner in the draft?
Probably third. I'll go
Third.
See, I read Steve Greenjack says the kid Arnold. I read there's a lot of rumors out there that say that Howie Roseman and Arnold was in for a top 30 visit with the Eagles, and the Eagles supposedly he had a great visit, and right after that, that's when all these rumors are like Howie Roseman making calls trying to move up. Like to me, I feel like if he moves up, he's trying to get Arnold. That's what I think. I mean, but then again, you never know though, bro, because this time of year, there's a million. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, Paul Spencer.
That's why I'm laughing. My
White man needs some love too. And then John Michael says, Diego is a real probably a good reason there hasn't been a white quarterback, but if he could play, every white dude in Philly would have that jersey.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know, man. The kid, like I said, man, all right, so let's think about it. Let's kind of make a draft prediction here. All right, first of all, let's just get into the whole draft here. First of all,
Yeah.
hang on, one more. I got one more here. Steve Greenjack says, I think Arnold and DeJean can be weapons on
Dejean.
Yeah, my bad. I know. I'm thinking Deshaun. You know what I mean?
Deshaun.
Can be weapons on defense.
All right, Joe.
For Pittsburgh. See, you know what? That does intrigue me because you guys remember when the Chiefs had the Honey Badger, what they did with the Honey Badger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this kid can do that stuff,
he can.
Now that could really play a big role in your defense because you could just think about how you could if you had a great athlete like that, think about how you could hide
use
coverage
them and expose them. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, 100%. You never know what safety's dropping because Gardner can pick up the slot, Dejean can come up to the slot. You could really manipulate a lot of defense with them two guys at safety. If Dejean can play safety and cover as good as they say he can, you'd be able to manipulate offenses crazy. Moving them two guys around everywhere to cover.
The other thing is too, think about it. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and him could both play nickel corner too.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, Diego, to your point, you could disguise coverage where you wouldn't even know who you wouldn't the quarterback would be like, oh shit, who's going to play nickel?
Who's covering who? Yeah.
And today's NFL.
Not just
mean,
that, you just got blitzes that way. You know what I'm saying? Like you put one safety over top, you bring the Zine down like he's gonna cover this guy. He goes in for a blitz, but you still got a real corner back there who's picking up this route. You know what I mean? You can do so much with that shit. If he can play that.
Pick your poison. He can. Yeah.
I'm starting to get excited, man. Remind Steve Greenjack reminds me when Isaiah Thomas came out and they asked what position he played, and he said defense. Okay, now that's a great point. But if you look at it though, Isaiah Simmons, he's already out of Arizona. So
he's stunk.
Right. So, I mean, I know the Giants signed him. I think he still has some potential. I mean, but like that kind of is an argument where you're like, oh shit, I don't know if I want this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be able to play one position really, really good, not just run around real fast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, all right, let's. All right, so let's say. All right, so let's break down.
If Eagles don't trade out of that spot, who we taking?
That's a tough one, man. Because at 22, who the fuck knows, man? You know what? If the Eagles stay at 22, I'll make a prediction. I'm going to say if they stay at 22 and he's there, they're taking the offensive lineman Guyton from Oklahoma, and he'll play right guard, and he'll be basically an apprentice under Lane Johnson for 2 years. If they move up, I think it's for that kid Arnold from Alabama if he slides, because there's a possibility there could be like 5 or 6 quarterbacks taken and like 4 or 5 O linemen. If that's the case, corners are going to slide.
Right. How about you, Sean?
I'm going to go offensive lineman and a defensive player, regardless. Probably I like to see Cooper, offensive lineman, flip that Cooper Beebe, from Kansas State. And defensive-wise, if he's there, which I think he would be, it would be Kool-Aid or Chop Robinson.
Okay. I think the Eagles stay. I think the Eagles stay at that pick, and they just take one of them linemen. I'm not sure which one, but I think it's just a perfect spot for the Eagles to take a lineman to succeed one of their linemen now.
What do you think of this? Because I read this too. Steve Greenjack said, I read that Steen's locker is currently with the starting lineman's locker, so I think he's the plan at guard.
Good. And maybe you're not taking guard in the first round then, if you think Steen can be a starter.
Yeah, I mean, they did. I mean, Steen was picked 61st overall in the draft last year. That's a relatively high pick to take it.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, Stoutland, he's always doing those drills at the draft. And he knows offensive linemen's talents, positive and negatives. I mean, shit, we can get the guy Garrett Greenfield from South Dakota State. He knows, the kid has a 38.5 vertical inch leap. Stoutland can make him what he's made Steen and Driscoll's, those kind of players. He molds you to be the best offensive lineman you can be. I mean, regardless who they get offensive-wise, I'm confident because Stoutland, the way he molds these guys and brings out the best in them.
Well, yeah.
But back to Eddie Prather's thing, Latui, I see him going to like top 10, top 15. Seattle likes him. I could see the Saints, but that's just my thing. I would like him here, but I don't think he'll be there at 22.
I'll tell you what. Speaking of the edge rusher guy from UCLA, I think his name's
Latu.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a lot of injury problems, and I'll tell you what. When I think of injuries, I think of my man Jason Fine, aka Attorney Big Al. If you get hurt on the job and you need to get yourself paid, make sure you call my man Jason Fine. Motor vehicle accidents, slip and fall, workers' compensation, or personal injury claims. He's got 3 offices, one in Philadelphia, one in Cherry Hill, and one in Pittsburgh. So make sure you check him out. And then when you're up watching the draft, sometimes the first round ends a little late. You might need some coffee. Make sure you call the best coffee around, Monkey's Call Coffee. You could use the promo code OOTBS Sports at monkeycallcoffee.com. And if you don't like your team's draft, make sure you spike that, John. All right, spike, yeah. But I'm hoping we have a good draft and we're not spiking our coffee. I hope it's not a Marcus Smith night. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Right. Or a Jalen Rager night.
Yeah. Oh,
Don't remind me of that, man.
I was like, we're getting Jefferson. Yeah. I'm snapping my fucking room. They said Jalen Rager's name. I was like, who the fuck is Jalen Rager?
the best was when Minnesota's like this. I can't believe it. And they're like, yeah, we got him. And Howie's high-fiving. The one GM's like, nah, you're not getting a high five. You're a joke.
Then it's like, yeah, Jalen Rager. And then you already know, though, 2 hours after that draft, every Eagles fan started talking themselves into it. Well, maybe he could be the next Tyreek Hill. They say he's real fast and athletic, and blah blah blah. Started talking yourself into him. He was a fucking loser.
What do you think of this? Paul Spencer says Powers, Guyton, or Mims for Dallas, but we will file for unemployment right after because Dallas can't afford to pay them. Eagles, I think, corner or O-line depth available. Maurice Wright says Greenfield is a great pickup late rounds.
Yes, he is.
And Steve Greenjack said, nah, Howie learned his lesson.
I agree.
Eddie Prather says, Eddie Prather says Rager, the guy who went before Justin Jefferson. Oh,
unbelievable.
That was
Burns.
You know what's ironic, though? So, Howie, what an interesting draft 2020 was, because you could say Rager. You could say Rager in front of Jefferson was Howie's worst decision he ever made.
Yeah.
Ironically, the very next round, he has fucking balls of steel and takes Jalen Hurts when he has Carson Wentz, which might be the best pick he ever made. Isn't that ironic?
Yeah.
The dude fucks up royally and passes on like the best receiver in the National Football League, and then he goes and takes Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give him credit. I got to give Howie credit, man. He may fuck up sometimes, but dude's got.
He also took umbrella boy JJ White-Arcega.
Oh man, over DK Metcalf.
Oh yeah, him, the guy who's built like a Greek god in Seattle. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
unbelievable. Yeah, he's missed a lot of wires. But then again, we could argue if he hits on one of them, say he hits on DK, you probably don't got Justin Jefferson. You probably don't got AJ Brown. You probably don't got Devontae Smith.
Yeah, well, that's true.
True.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, one domino can change everything. I mean, I ironically, as much as I like Devontae Smith, and don't get me wrong, I love Devontae Smith. Had you hit on one of those wide receivers, you may have Micah Parsons right now playing linebacker.
Right.
One of those receivers. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Poor Steve.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is funny. We went sign and French just laughed. Yeah, that was toward it. It's funny because like us fans aren't always right, because I'll admit, I mean, when they took Jalen Hurts, I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I said, are you kidding me?
I was pissed. Dude, I was pissed because they took Jalen Rager, then Jalen Hurts. We were like, we couldn't have made the two fucking worst picks ever right there. Thank God one ended up being really good. We did. Let's not jump the gun on Jalen Hurts just yet. Yeah, he's had one really good year. Last year shit the bed, and the year before that sucked too.
I think everybody had that facial expression like Russell Wilson's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what though? Regardless, though, Jalen Hurts in the second round, he's already been a great second round pick.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl. You know what I mean? For a second round pick, what he's already done, he's been a good pick.
Yeah. True. I just hope Kellen Moore really uses them well,
Maurice Wright says, I think they grabbed Western Kentucky wide receiver. At some point, he's a yak yardage guy. They need big
Malachi, Malachi, yeah. They call him the yak killer. Kid's good, man.
I was reading that because they're going to take a running back at some point, even with signing Saquon Barkley. Sean, I was reading that they said the Eagles like the kid from Notre Dame.
Austin, Audrey,
I forget his name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I'm all for that. And then I heard they're high on the Dylan Loeb kid from New Hampshire. I really want to get the kid from Louisville, Isaiah Guerrero. He's pretty solid. I mean, I would like Corum, but I think with his character and the way he played at Michigan, I think he's going to get drafted pretty early. But hopefully we get something, man. But
I agree, Green Jack. I was just saying, let's not jump the gun yet. Jalen still has a lot of, I think, proving to do before we're like, I was a great second-round pick.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? Because I mean, hey, well, obviously we're Eagles fans, but I oh, here we go. Steve Greenjack says, hang on, I'm going to get the polls in a second.
Okay.
Steve Greenjack says, Estime from Notre Dame is Blunt 2.0. Yeah, I like that kid, man.
I went to a Notre Dame game this year, and I told you, Joe, he's a bulldozer.
I think Arizona definitely trades out of 4 because I think they could get a haul. I mean, the only thing with that, if you're Arizona, like it probably is going to take a haul because you're looking at a team that drafted Larry Fitzgerald like 20 years ago, and they could get Larry Fitzgerald 2.0 and Marvin Harrison. So
it's right there. You're right.
If I'm Arizona, you got to give me a lot to get me out of there. But if you think about it, I mean, Minnesota could offer like 11. I think they're 11 and 23. Is it or 20? No, not 20. I forget. They're 11 and 20 something. Mm-hmm. And then so Minnesota could offer 2 firsts this year, a first next year, and plus that. They could get a king's ransom for that 4th pick.
I think you're going to see something go down. Washington as well wants to trade their pick, as well as New England.
I don't think Washington. I think Washington's locked in at court. Washington doesn't trade Howell I think Washington would have kept Howell if they were thinking about trading that pick. You think Washington would trade? I think they'd take a quarterback.
I'm gonna just go out there. I think we're gonna see a lot of surprise drafts. Like you never know. I know definitely New England, Arizona, Minnesota. So.
Eddie Prather says, Paul, are you thinking about Onduze?
Yeah, from Washington. The kid's pretty good.
He's good.
He runs great routes. And I think who brought up his stock as well is, don't forget him, Michael Penix Jr., the quarterback.
I could have Joe today. They had him going to the Raiders in the first round. I love that pick for the Raiders. I like Michael Penix.
Yeah. That. They have him going to the Saints.
You know what's ironic? I mean, I don't know if this would happen, but the New York Post actually has a headline of it says of Penix in a Giants uniform on the back page. That like,
yeah, I've seen that.
I know you're not. I know people aren't really necessarily thinking that, but if he interviewed really well, and I read somewhere, I read, he does have injury concerns, but I read somewhere that he wrote something to send it to NFL teams. And a lot of GMs he basically had an answer saying that his injuries have like made him really build his character. And they said, hey, you can measure. He's like, he basically said like, I'll take any test you need. He's like, whatever you need me to do, injury concerns, I'll do. But to get the real me, just give me an EKG because you see what's in my heart.
Right, that's pretty good.
I think
he is solid, man. He persevered through a lot at Indiana, tearing his knee up not once but twice, and then he finds a home at Washington. And I think one of his best games, anybody could say, just watch it, was Washington versus Texas in the playoffs.
Yeah, what do you think of this? Possibly a slot receiver at some point. I mean, hey, look, there's Eagles could go tight end at some point.
Yeah, he's pretty good. BYU.
No, Rice, Luke McCaffrey.
Rice. I know it's one of them teams that have like them blue-white jerseys.
Rice. CJ is Christian McCaffrey's brother, Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
solid.
he's pretty
And
good.
also, Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice's son, is solid. He came in here for an interview. He's a big body, so I mean, hopefully we did our work and we know what to do.
Penix will be number one quarterback if fully healthy.
I don't think anybody would have been over Caleb Williams.
Nah, yeah, but he might have been two. He might have been
He
two.
might have been two, because I don't think Jaden Daniels is that great. Dude is a skinny. He's a skinny dude. His bottom half is skinny.
I'll tell you one thing, Joe
I'm
Milton.
break that guy in half in the NFL. I like Drake May.
Joe Milton, the Tennessee volunteer quarterback, 6'5", 245, possibly transitioning to tight end.
Yeah,
that's not bad. That kid's got a lot of talent.
Kid's a big boy.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen. You know what? I mean, I could talk this draft all night long, but we got a Sixers game coming up in about 25 minutes. So
yeah.
What do you say? What do you say we wrap this up? And you know what? I wanted to talk some Phillies because it's Phillies are red hot right now. What are we? Six wins in a row.
6 in a row.
6 in a row. The
500.
Number one, like possibly number one pitching staff in baseball right now.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Now, granted, they did play some dog shit teams last week, but the bottom line is you got to beat who you play, and they beat everybody's ass. So, Phillies.
Dude, baseball's a lot about momentum. They had to get that momentum going for the season. And now they'll start tearing them off. They're on pace for over 100 wins right now.
Yeah. True. So anyway, yeah. So big draft. Go Sixers tonight. Next time we're talking, we'll be recapping the draft. Hopefully, let's see, we'll be on next week. So that's after game 4. In a perfect world, the Sixers will be up 3-1. Yeah, in a perfect world, Sixers will be up 3-1. Phils are in the midst of a 10-game road trip. So hopefully the Phillies bring the home cooking on the road. And we'll see you all next week, man. Go Birds, go Sixers, and let's get this dub tonight. See you all.
Peace, guys.